Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is VC Pramod with the Midday News. The headlines. Kargil Vijay Divas being celebrated across the country. President, Prime Minister and Defence Minister lead the nation in paying rich tributes to brave soldiers who made supreme sacrifice during the Kargil War. Both the Houses of Parliament witnessed disruptions due to opposition protests over price hike and other issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Gujarat and Tamil Nadu on Thursday and Friday to inaugurate and lay foundation stone of multiple projects and declare 44th Chess Olympiad open. Congress President Sonia Gandhi appears before Enforcement Directorate for questioning in the National Herald case. Congress stages protests in Delhi. 5G auctions begin today, over 72,000 megahertz of spectrum for a period of 20 years being auctioned. Over 3 crore 26 lakh Kisan credit cards issued to farmers since February 2020 till this month. Death toll rises to 28 in huge tragedy in Botad district of Gujarat. 5 more Indian wetlands have got Ramsar recognition as wetlands of international importance. Kanwar Yatra to conclude today in different parts of the country and Neera Chopra to miss Commonwealth Games due to injury. And now the news in detail. The nation is today paying tributes to the brave hearts of the Kargil War on the 23rd anniversary of India's historic victory in 1999, which is celebrated as Kargil Vijay Divas every year, when they evicted the infiltrators backed by the Pakistani army from high outposts in the Kargil sector. The war was fought for more than 60 days and ended with India regaining control of all the previously held territory. The victory of Tiger Hill was one of the crucial achievements in the 60-day-long conflict. Indian soldiers fought the Kargil War under the toughest conditions on the difficult terrain at an altitude of 18,000 feet. President Draupadi Murmu has saluted the brave soldiers who laid down their lives to protect the country. In a tweet, Ms. Murmu said, Kargil Vijay Divas is a symbol of extraordinary valor and determination of the armed forces. She said all countrymen will always be indebted to the armed forces and their family members. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu paid tributes to the valiant soldiers who displayed unwavering patriotism and unmatched gallantry in protecting the nation in 1999. Mr. Naidu said the nation is ever indebted to the martyrs of Kargil for their supreme sacrifice. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Kargil Vijay Divas is a symbol of pride of Ma Bharati and saluted all the brave sons of the country who accomplished the valor in the defense of the motherland. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Minister of State for Defence Ajay Bhatt laid wreaths and paid homage at the National War Memorial in New Delhi to the fallen heroes who ensured India's victory during the Kargil War. Defence Secretary Dr. Ajay Kumar and 3 service chiefs, Chief of the Army Staff General Manoj Pandey, Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral R. Harikumar and Chief of the Air Staff Air Chief Marshal V. R. Chaudhary also paid homage at the National War Memorial. In a message in the Visitors Book of the National War Memorial, the Defence Minister recalled the valour and sacrifices of the armed forces personnel during the war. He said the nation will forever be grateful to the sacrifices made by the armed forces. The minister said that, with their memories in the hearts of the people, the country will keep energizing itself and continue to move forward on the path of nation building. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Tiger Division of Army organized Kargil Vijay Divas celebrations at Tiger War Memorial and Balidan Stamp in Jammu today. Our correspondent reports that GOC Tiger Division Major General Neeraj Gosai and all other ranks paid tributes to the brave hearts in a solemn wreath-laying ceremony at the memorial. Wife of Braveheart Major Mohit Sharma, Lieutenant Colonel Rishma Sareen also paid tributes to the Bravehearts. Commander of Shivalik Brigade Brigadier Man Parvesh Har and all ranks of the brigade paid tributes to the Bravehearts in a solemn wreath-laying ceremony at Balidan Stambh in Jammu. A large number of veterans and citizens were also present on the occasion to remember the Kargil war heroes. A 10-kilometer marathon run was also organized by the prominent citizens to express gratitude to the gallant soldiers.
The Lok Sabha has been adjourned till 2 p.m. today following uproar by the opposition parties demanding for revoking suspension of 4 Congress members. The opposition members, including DMK, left parties and others, trooped to the well of the House immediately after the question hour, seeking for revoking the suspension of the 4 members. 4 Congress MPs were suspended yesterday for the remaining session. The chair adjourned the House till 2 p.m. amidst pandemonium. Earlier, when the House met at 11:45 a.m. after the first adjournment, the sloganeering opposition members demanded for immediate discussion on price rise and increase of the GST on some essential commodities and revoking suspension of 4 opposition members. The DMK, left parties and NCP members staged a walkout. The House paid tribute to the Kargil heroes who laid down their lives while protecting the country and observed 2-minute silence as a mark of respect on the occasion of the anniversary of Kargil Vijay Divas today. The Speaker said the grateful nation remembers the sacrifices made by the armed forces who laid their lives in the line of duty.
आज संपूर्ण देश हमारी राष्ट्रीय एकता, संप्रभुता एवं अखंडता की रक्षा के लिए भारतीय सेना के पराक्रम और बलिदान की याद में कारगिल विजय दिवस की 23वीं वर्षगांठ मना रहा है। हमारे वीर सैनिकों ने कारगिल युद्ध के दौरान कठिन भौगोलिक बाधाओं, प्रतिकूल मौसम के बावजूद अदम्य साहस और अद्भुत वीरता का परिचय देते हुए देश की सुरक्षा के लिए अपने कर्तव्यों का निर्वहन किया और विजय प्राप्त की। आज इस अवसर पर हम अपने वीर सैनिकों को नमन करते हैं तथा शहीदों के प्रति अपनी कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करते हैं।
The Rajya Sabha today witnessed continuous uproar by the opposition parties over price rise, GST hike on essential items and Gujarat Hooch tragedy. When the House met after the second adjournment at 12:20 p.m., opposition members including Aam Aadmi Party, DMK, Left and TMC and others again trooped to the well and continued their sloganeering against the government. Deputy Chairman Harivansh repeatedly urged the agitating members to go back to their seats, saying the entire country is watching. He warned that the chair should not be forced to take action against the agitating members. Amid din, he ran the question hour. Earlier, when the House met after the first adjournment at 12 noon, the Deputy Chairman cited Rule 256 and warned the agitating members for displaying placards and disrupting the proceedings of the House. As the pandemonium continued, he adjourned the House till 12:20 p.m. In the morning, when the House assembled for the day, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu rejected adjournment notices moved by the opposition MPs under Rule 267. Following this, Aam Aadmi Party and Congress members trooped to the well, displaying placards over the Hooch tragedy in Gujarat. This prompted the chairman to adjourn the House till 12 noon, minutes after it met for the day. The House paid tribute to the martyrs and brave soldiers on the 23rd anniversary of Kargil Vijay Divas. Chairman Venkaiah Naidu said, on this day in 1999, brave and fearless soldiers showed indomitable courage, resulting in momentous victory.
Soldiers in adverse conditions will always be remembered. Their unparalleled valor and gallantry will continue to inspire generations after generations to dedicate themselves to the cause of the nation. Today, on behalf of the whole House, on my own behalf, I pay glowing tributes to the indomitable spirit and supreme sacrifices of our brave soldiers who went beyond their call of duty to protect our motherland and secure our lives. I request members to raise in their places and observe silence as a mark of respect to the memory of all those brave soldiers who laid down their lives for our country.
The House also observed silence as a mark of respect for the brave soldiers. The government today reiterated that it is ready for discussion in the Parliament over the issue of price rise. Talking to reporters outside the Parliament, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said once Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman returns after recovering from COVID, the government will hold discussion. Mr. Joshi said the government has nothing to hide over the issue as it has taken many effective steps to contain the inflation. Mr. Joshi criticized the opposition for disrupting the proceedings of the House, both the Houses of Parliament.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Gujarat and Tamil Nadu on the 28th and 29th of July. At around 12 noon on Thursday, Prime Minister will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple projects of Sabar Dairy at Ghadoda Chowki, Sabarkantha in Gujarat. Thereafter, Prime Minister will travel to Chennai and declare open the 44th Chess Olympiad at Jawaharlal Nehru Indoor Stadium in Chennai at around 6 p.m. On Friday at around 10 a.m., the Prime Minister will attend the 42nd convocation of Anna University. From there, he will travel to Gandhinagar to visit Gift City, where he will launch and lay the foundation stone of various projects at around 4 p.m. Congress Interim President Sonia Gandhi today appeared before the Enforcement Directorate in Delhi for the second round of questioning in the National Herald case. She was accompanied by her daughter and party leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Ms. Gandhi's son and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi was also questioned for 5 days in this case earlier. Rahul and Sonia Gandhi are being probed under the provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act in this case.
The Congress-led opposition MPs today protested over price rise and GST hike on essential commodities in the Parliament complex. Displaying placards, the protesting MPs demanded a rollback of GST hike on essential items. They also demanded to revoke the suspension of 4 Congress members of the Lok Sabha. Senior Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary accused the government of avoiding discussion on the issue of price rise. He alleged that the members are being denied from their democratic rights by suspending them for the rest of the session. 4 suspended MPs sat on dharna in front of the Mahatma Gandhi statue in the Parliament complex.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Kargil Vijay Divas being celebrated across the country. President, Prime Minister and Defence Minister lead the nation in paying rich tributes to brave soldiers who made supreme sacrifice during the Kargil War. Both the Houses of Parliament witnessed disruptions due to opposition protests over price hike and other issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Gujarat and Tamil Nadu on the Thursday and Friday to inaugurate and lay foundation stone of multiple projects and declare 44th Chess Olympiad open. Congress President Sonia Gandhi appears before Enforcement Directorate for questioning in the National Herald case. 5G auctions being held today. Over 72,000 megahertz of spectrum for the period of 20 years being auctioned. Over 3 crore 26 lakh Kisan credit cards issued to farmers since February 2020 till this month. Death toll rises to 28 in Hooch tragedy in Botad district of Gujarat. 5 more Indian wetlands have got Ramsar recognition as wetlands of international importance. Kavadi Yatra to conclude today in different parts of the country. And Neera Chopra to miss Commonwealth Games due to injury. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Listen to Commonwealth Games quiz with AIR News Sportscan at 7:20 p.m. every day. All you have to do is reply to a question on the Commonwealth Games. Email your answers at airsportscan@gmail.com. The first correct answer will be selected as the winner and rewarded with a jersey of the Indian Commonwealth Games team. So keep cheering to India, listening to Sportscan at 7:20 p.m. on FM Gold 100.1 MHz and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.
कॉम्पिटिशन्स की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर अभ्यास कार्यक्रम है आपके लिए। अपने सवाल भेजें व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करें abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर। आपके सवालों के जवाब हमारे एक्सपर्ट देंगे हर शनिवार रात 9:30 बजे। इस वर्ष का विषय है इकोनॉमिक्स यानी अर्थशास्त्र। आपके सवालों का हम करेंगे इंतजार 27 जुलाई तक। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. The auction of 5G spectrum has commenced today. The spectrum will be assigned to the successful bidders for providing 5G services to public and enterprises. A total of over 72,000 megahertz of spectrum with a validity of period of 20 years is being put to auction. The auction is being held for spectrum in various low, medium and high frequency bands. It is expected that the spectrum will be utilized by the telecom service providers to roll out of 5G technology-based services capable of providing speed and capacities which would be about 10 times higher than the current 4G services. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur today said Prasar Bharati has signed a memorandum of understanding with IIT Kanpur to develop next-generation broadcast solution and roadmap for digital terrestrial broadcasting consistent with emerging standards such as 5G broadcast. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, he said, presently Doordarshan has 23 digital terrestrial transmitters which are operational at 19 locations across the country. Mr. Thakur said AIR has 123 megawatt transmitters in its network, out of which there are 38 digital megawatt transmitters.
Over 3 crore 26 lakh farmers have been issued Kisan Credit Cards KCC since February 2020 till this month with a sanction limit of 3 crore 70 lakh rupees. Minister of State for Agriculture Sudarshan Bhagat informed us during question hour in the Lok Sabha today. Replying to supplementaries, the minister said the government has taken a special saturation drive to issue Kisan credit cards aiming to cover about 2.5 crore farmers to provide concessional credit to PM Kisan beneficiaries. In Gujarat, Minister of State for Home Harsh Sanghvi is chairing a high-level meeting in Gandhinagar to review the situation in Botad spurious liquor case. Addressing a press conference, Gujarat DG of Police Ashish Bhatia said the death toll due to consumption of spurious liquor has gone up to 28. Police have filed 3 FIRs against more than 14 people in connection and most of the accused have been arrested so far. Mr. Bhatia said police have also seized 460 liters of chemical which is found as methyl alcohol in a forensic report. He said out of the total 28 deaths, 22 are from Botad district while 6 are from Ahmedabad rural region. He said the chemical was mixed in plain water and was sold to people. Our correspondent reports that around 35 people are undergoing treatment in various hospitals in Botad, Bhavnagar and Dhantuka.
More than 202 crore 50 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far. The Health Ministry said more than 30 lakh 42,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. During the same period, 14,830 new COVID cases were reported in the country. India's active caseload currently stands at over 1,47,000. The recovery rate is currently at 98.47%. A total of over 18,000 people recovered in the last 24 hours. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi has said India firmly and consistently opposes projects in the so-called CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which are in the Indian territory illegally occupied by Pakistan. In response to media queries regarding participation of third countries in CPEC projects, Mr. Bagchi said any such actions by any party directly infringe on India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. He said such activities are inherently illegal, illegitimate and unacceptable and will be treated accordingly by India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today called on President Draupadi Murmu at Rashtrapati Bhavan for the first time after her assumption of office yesterday. Chinese President Xi Jinping has congratulated President Draupadi Murmu on assuming office. In his message, Chinese President said he is ready to work with her to enhance political mutual trust, deepen practical cooperation, properly handle differences and push China-India relations forward on the right track. President Xi said that he attaches great importance to India-China relations.
5 more Indian wetlands have got Ramsar recognition as wetlands of international importance. These include 3 wetlands in Tamil Nadu, Karikili Bird Sanctuary, Pallikaranai Marsh Reserve Forest and Pichavaram Mangrove, Pala Wetland in Mizoram and Sakya Sagar in Madhya Pradesh. There are now a total of 54 Ramsar sites in the country. Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav said the emphasis Prime Minister Narendra Modi has put on environmental protection and conservation has led to a marked improvement in how India treats its wetlands. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On July the 26th, 1876, Surendranath Banerjee, along with Anand Mohan Bose, founded the Indian National Association in Calcutta. The Indian Association was the most prominent of the pre-Congress organizations.
Social and economic changes started occurring in the 19th century that also led to an increase in the political consciousness, leading to the birth of political associations and national movements for independence. In 1875, Sisir Kumar Ghosh and Shambhu Charan Mukherjee founded the India League to represent the middle class and work towards a sense of nationalism among the people.
However, the League was dismembered, and afterwards Surendranath Banerjee founded the Indian Association along with his friend Anand Mohan Bose on the 26th of July 1876. It wanted to bring about the unity of the Indian races and peoples on the basis of common political interests and aspirations. It objected to the decrease in the age limit for candidates for the Indian Civil Service examination in 1877.
The association advocated for simultaneous civil service examinations in England and India, as well as the Indianization of higher administrative positions. The Indian Association also spearheaded a campaign to repeal the repressive Arms Act and the Vernacular Press Act.
The Indian Association established branches in other towns and cities throughout Bengal as well as outside of Bengal. The membership fee was kept low in order to attract members from the poorer sections of society. The association sponsored the first All India Conference, which was held in Calcutta from December the 28th to 30th, 1883. More than 100 delegates from across the country attended. The Indian Association later merged with the Indian National Congress in 1886.
We remember Malti Devi Chaudhary, who was an Indian civil rights and freedom activist born on the 26th of July 1904. She was deeply influenced by both Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore and Mahatma Gandhi. While studying at Shanti Niketan, she met her future husband and they both relocated to present-day Odisha.
The Salt Satyagraha started soon after, and Malti Devi Chaudhary threw herself into the movement. She had organized the Krishaka Andolana, that is the farmers' movement, as part of the freedom struggle against the zamindars and moneylenders who exploited the poor.
After independence, Malti Chaudhary, as a member of the Constituent Assembly of India and as the president of the Utkal Pradesh Congress Committee, tried her best to emphasize the role of education, especially adult education, in rural reconstruction. She also joined the Bhudan movement of Acharya Vinoba Bhave. The noble soul breathed her last on the 15th of March, 1998.
We also remember Ismail Khan, who was an inhabitant of the Bombay Presidency. He took part in the struggle for freedom from the foreign rule in 1857 and also led his neighbours in attacking the British establishments and trying to overthrow the Company Raj. Ismail was caught by the Company troops in the course of an engagement and charged with plundering the government properties and rebellion against the British. He was sentenced to imprisonment for life and was transported to the Andaman Islands on 7th of March 1859, where he died on the 26th of July 1859. We salute the brave martyr Ismail Khan.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
अब हर घर की छत पर शान से फहरेगा तिरंगा, गुनगुनाए जाएंगे नव विकास के गीत, आन बान शान का प्रतीक राष्ट्रध्वज तिरंगा। आइए आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के पावन अवसर पर इस स्वाधीनता दिवस हर घर फहराते हैं तिरंगा और लेते हैं भव्य और सशक्त भारत के निर्माण का संकल्प।
आइए हर घर फहराएं तिरंगा।
The 13-day-long Kanwad Yatra will conclude today in different parts of the country. The annual Kanwad Yatra was held this year after a gap of 2 years. The Yatra was cancelled during the past 2 years due to the outbreak of COVID-19. An estimated 4 crore devotees attended this year's Yatra. Devotees chant slogans in praise of Lord Shiv and sing bhajans and kirtans while taking part in the Yatra.
The 44th Chess Olympiad kicks off in Chennai from Thursday. It will be held till the 10th of next month. The prestigious competition, which is being organized since 1927, is being hosted in India for the first time and in Asia after 30 years. With 189 countries participating, this will be the largest participation in any Chess Olympiad. Teams of Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Trinidad and Tobago and Aruba arrive today. Star Indian javelin thrower Neera Chopra will not be taking part in the Commonwealth Games 2022 in Birmingham due to an injury. Secretary General of the Indian Olympic Association Rajiv Mehta told the media that Neera Chopra will not be able to take part in Commonwealth Games as he got injured in the finals of the World Athletic Championships. Chopra has delivered a lot of outstanding performances since he won gold in Tokyo Olympics 2020. In cricket, India will take on West Indies in the third and final ODI at Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain tomorrow. The match will begin at 7 p.m. IST. The visitors have already taken an unassailable 2-0 lead over West Indies in the 3-match series with a 2-wicket victory at the same venue on Sunday. Earlier, they took initial lead in the series, winning the nerve-wracking first match by 3 runs on Friday.
The Sensex and the Nifty today fell more than 0.5% in the afternoon trade. Both stock indices logged losses amid mixed global share markets. The Sensex was trading near 55,400 points, while the Nifty was trading near 16,500 level. The Sensex declined 363 points to trade at 54,403. The Nifty also slipped 112 points to trade at 16,519 when reports last came in. In the forex market, the rupee weakened marginally by 2 paise to trade at 79 rupees and 76 paise against the US dollar in the afternoon deals. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Kargil Vijay Divas being celebrated across the country. President, Prime Minister and Defence Minister lead the nation in paying rich tributes to brave soldiers who made supreme sacrifice during the Kargil War. Both the Houses of Parliament witnessed disruptions due to opposition protests over price hike and other issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Gujarat and Tamil Nadu on Thursday and Friday to inaugurate and lay foundation stone of multiple projects and declare 44th Chess Olympiad open. Congress President Sonia Gandhi appears before ED for questioning in the National Herald case. 5G auctions begin today. Over 72,000 megahertz of spectrum for the period of 20 years being auctioned. Over 3 crore 26 lakh Kisan credit cards issued to farmers since February 2020 till this month. Death toll rises to 28 in huge tragedy in Botad district of Gujarat. 5 more Indian wetlands have got Ramsar recognition as wetlands of international importance. Kanwad Yatra to conclude today in different parts of the country, and Neera Chopra to miss Commonwealth Games due to injury. And with that, we end the midday news.